Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
and welcome to another episode of Guys Playing Games with me, Az,
And me, Perry.
And me, Ed.
and we've got a guest this week.
Yeah, we do.
Hello.
So tell him your name.
My name's Richard.
This is Richard, everyone.
Hi,
Welcome
guys.
to the podcast.
Hello. Hello.
No, it's like some AA sort of bullshit right there. Like, hi, I'm Richard. Hi, Richard.
Yeah, Richard's joining us this week from NintendoLife.com.
I am indeed official game reviewer.
Check you
Just thought I'd
on that official.
Straight in
Got
there.
like
that
a
bit.
title and
Official.
everything.
Yeah, he's got a title and everything. Yeah.
Exactly. And we're going to talk games. We're going to talk Nintendo. We're going to talk news. But we'll start off, shall we, like we normally do, with what we've been playing. So.
Yeah.
And as you were the guest, Rich, you may start. What you've been playing this week, eh?
Well, to be fair, every week I play Splatoon 2. So, obviously, big Nintendo fan, gotta be. But, yeah, Splatoon 2 pretty much all the time, but also quite a lot of Bayonetta, actually. Bayonetta 1 and 2. Back into that.
Okay, that was a recent release on the Switch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so you get the second game, you get the first game for free. But yeah, they run just as well. Loving it, absolutely loving it. It's just insane.
Nice.
So
Should I buy Splatoon? Is my question to you.
I
I feel like you're going to say yes
yeah.
anyway. But you know the kind of games I like. Do you think I'd enjoy it?
Yeah, no, I think you would. I think did you play it on Wii U?
No, because when it came on Wii U, I'd kind of given up on it by that point. On Wii U
I was gonna
itself,
say,
that is not Splatoon, but
Right.
Wii U. Like I kind of just stopped playing it.
Yeah, I think it's certainly a great game. Well, it's online based. I mean, the campaign they've completely revamped the campaign from the first one, and we've just had announced from Nintendo the DLC is coming out as well, paid deal.
Yeah, so it's a whole new campaign and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
whole new campaign. Yeah, you go underground. You play as like the Octoling kind of thing. So there's a whole different dark side
Oh,
of it.
wow, cool.
They've got like floating Game Cubes and Game Boy Advance worlds and stuff. So
The only,
it's-
the only thing I know about Splatoon is, and it literally was earlier this year, was a Awesome Games Done Quick. They had a speedrunner there that literally speedrun Splatoon 1, sorry, and it was nuts. Like so, some of the shit he was doing, like he was like hopping halfway across the map, and it was really impressive. Some of the stuff he was getting away with, but like apparently the category he was running, he had to play with all the different guns. So it was
you
like
got switch and change.
yeah.
between
It looked
sniper,
really
bowler,
interesting.
that
To be
kind of
fair, like the game concept looks really cool. It looks like it's something I would like
I
to
didn't.
play.
So there's a single player campaign, is it?
thing. Yeah,
Because
so,
I thought it was only like a multiplayer thing. But obviously.
yeah, I think they base it around the multiplayer kind of thing. You know, it's 4-on-4. You get put in around a match, turf war. You've got other game modes as well. But I suppose the good thing about it is 3-minute matches. So you do a match, that's
wow.
it, bang, you're back into another one, back into another one.
Oh, see, I
That's
like that.
super
That's a
fast.
bit of me, that is.
Yeah,
actually,
but I think what they've done well with it, obviously Nintendo, as we know, dare I say, aren't that great at online. It's a whole new concept still to them, which, you know, their paid online services coming out September, it's been pushed back to then. But I think the best thing about it is that the Splatfest they do. So they randomly do Splatfest, which is this big community, global event where you've got to pick a side, either ketchup or mayonnaise or cats or dogs. Don't ask why. Japan have the weird bit.
That's the Japanese for you right there.
Yeah.
Like
They had like, do you
Team
like
ketchup.
do you like lemon in your food or without? Yeah. So anyway, so you do that. You fight for your team and then you win loads of stuff at the end. But everyone's a winner, and though after all. Yeah, no, it's well worth it. Love it. I'll talk more
sounds good.
about it later.
I was just saying, yeah, well, we're going to dive a bit more into your Splatoon antics a bit later on in the podcast. So yeah, that's
Cool.
So it's just been.
I'll jump in and
yeah,
go
go on then.
next. shall
Let
I?
us know what you've been playing as.
I'm playing Vermintide 2. A lot.
Oh no.
You're not actually started streaming again last week. I thought, I'd start streaming some Vermintide 2. It's a nice time. If you ever played Left 4 Dead, it is essentially Left 4 Dead, except you use a sword.
Is it less buggy?
I want to say yes, but no, it's not.
Or
Like,
is that the beauty of it?
I think it's been out 2 weeks now. It's on patch 1.04, so that means there's been 4 patches since release. So it's already been patched 4 times.
Nice.
So
It just constantly.
So no, it's not buggy. No, it's like this real fucked up thing where, like, on like the final boss, like you go through it and you'd lose, like, if you had any perks, take them away from you. Weren't meant to do that.
I was
It
going
would
to say
just
that's
fucking
a
take
pretty
them
hard.
away from you. It was
That's
like,
a hard as nail boss.
Wow.
yeah.
That is a really bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's some really like funny videos online of it. Was that did you just pick up the door closing?
What? No.
Oh, your face
no.
you seem distressed. Sorry.
I was
That's
wowing
gonna
at
be
your. I
well
was
weird
wowing
for
at your
people
bike.
listening. They'd be like, the door closing? What?
Well,
Yeah,
we're all
yeah,
aware
no,
of it now.
Well,
Yeah,
now I know.
I'm scared because the mic's more sensitive this week. So it's
The funny thing is that on the podcast as well, on the YouTube video, they're not even going to know because I've cropped the door out of the frame.
Oh, there is no door. Ignore it. There's no
door.
We're underground.
We're in a small case here, and that's it. So yeah, no, Vermintide, I'm really enjoying it. It's really good. It's a lot of fun. It's just
online.
Well, you can play it on your own, but it's not as good. It's more of like a party game, a bit like again, it is Left 4 Dead. Like it's better with people. It's pretty easy to breeze through as well. It takes a long time to level though. It's got a level cap of 30, and I think I've put like 16 hours into it now, and I'm only like level 14 or something like that.
Slacking.
Wow.
Slacking. That is not easy work.
Yeah, it is real grindy. I've completed the campaign once fully. Like there's 3 acts. I've done all of the acts, and I've completed like the final mission like 3-4 times, and then gone through some of the missions on like the next difficulty up. And even still, like it just feels like it takes forever to get geared. Like everything's based on like a loot box as well. You don't pay for loot boxes. You'll finish a level and you'll get a crate. And depending on like what secrets you find, you have like these things called tomes in a level. So depending on how many tomes and grimoires you find in a level, depends how much you level up the crate you receive at the end of the game. So
there's no paid loot.
There's no paid loot boxes. It's loot boxes, but you don't pay for it.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, it's how it should be. But at the same time, why not just give me fucking stuff? Like, why do I need to open a stupid fucking box?
It's excitement. It's loot box. It's the
honestly,
year of loot box.
it's literally. Don't find
It's the Destiny token lottery all over again.
Exactly. But don't you find with every game that every loot box has the exact same animation and the exact same noise when you open a loot box? It's always like boom when you open a fucking loot box. It's the same every time.
Did you do the sound effects for the loot box? Was
yeah, that's me. That's why they're all the same.
Because
It's my mouth basically that made that noise. So
yeah,
that's what I've been playing.
The XP curve. Is there an XP curve, or is it like a flat same amount of XP for each level?
No, like again, it depends on like grimoires. The grimoires affect XP and like the leveling of the crate at the end as well. Mm-hmm. So if you just go through and complete a level, you might get like 400 XP or something. But then it takes like 5,000 or something to go up a level.
Do you feel like you're truly rewarded? Do you feel like you're truly rewarded for it? Do you look forward to that loot box end?
Yeah, I do. You do because that's the main point of it as well. Is your character has a hero level. So obviously every bit of gear you get, it bases your character level. So it's not like Diablo where you get a weapon and it's got like 110 attack, and the attack is like just on the weapon. It gives you an overall like gear score. A bit like Destiny, again, you have like a gear score and it levels up your character per that gear score. So you accumulate a gear score as your overall hero level.
So how does do you have to pick one character and then like level them up to max?
Yeah, there's like 6 characters. I'm playing a Marauder, I think it is, who's like a big two-handed weapon wielding guy.
Yeah, I saw you on Twitch chopping some people up good.
Yeah, literally, I like it because like you do these attacks and literally just like a heavy swing and you just like cleave like 8 rats because rats you kill in it, which hence Vermintide.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah, it's rats and zombies, but yeah, it's mainly rats. So you're just cutting rats.
Are they zombie rats?
No, they're just real mental giant killer evil rats with red eyes.
Sounds good enough.
Pretty crazy. There is zombies as well. It's
This
Warhammer, so it's all a bit
This
weird.
is a Warhammer game, isn't it?
It is a Warhammer game. It's not 40k.
No, it's fantasy.
More popular in the gaming world.
It's the fantasy genre, isn't it? It's Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah. I you know, Warcraft, Perry. Like you got Chaos, like soldiers in it and stuff.
Oh,
They
okay.
turn up and they take a shitload of damage to take down and stuff. So it's like Left 4 Dead. So like each level will have like specials. You know, like to be fair. The special monsters in the levels are literally the same monsters that are in Left 4 Dead, but they just look different. So like you have the hunter
as well.
So you have like the hunter which jumps on you, like which was the same as the hunter in Left 4 Dead, where it jumps on you like stabs you loads of times.
Is there a witch?
There isn't a witch. No, there isn't a witch. But you get like these crazy bosses, which is like a bog troll and stuff like that, who shoot at.
Throwing up all over your light.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Brings me back.
So it's very Left 4 Dead-esque, but you're using a sword, and you do get guns, but they're pretty shit. It's quite secondary. You only want to like pop off a couple of headshots of it, and then you run out of ammo anyway.
I mean, what's the point of playing the game if you're not running around with axes just hacking away
at rats? Exactly. You're cutting them in half and shit, and you're shooting them. What's the point?
16 hours of doing that. Sounds good.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it. Enjoy it.
I think you were being sarcastic there, Rich, but I think that actually does sound good.
No, yeah, I think there's
I think he was serious.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't being sarcastic.
It sounded sarcastic. I was like, but that is actually good, though. I don't get it.
That's all you need. Yeah. I spend hours throwing around multicoloured paint for most of the week. So yeah, I think I should probably. Yeah.
Do you game on PC at all, or
No.
other consoles?
No, console PS4.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But yeah, PS4.
You are, because you are
massively,
heavily
but-
just Nintendo, aren't you?
Yeah, coming down the middle, you'll see the big N.
Yeah.
N.
It is your core.
Yeah, it is.
exactly.
But PS4, I play a bit on, but I like more obscure indie games.
Yeah.
Much more into that. But I need the PS4 there for
Just in
stuff
case.
that I can't get on Switch,
God of War comes.
Yeah. which looks incredible. But
We'll get into that in a bit because that trailer dropped.
Yes.
Anyway, what have you been playing?
What I've been playing? I've been playing Superhot.
Superhot. We spoke about this a little bit last week, didn't we?
Because it was
we
free.
mentioned it was coming out. Yeah.
It's now free on everything.
I say coming out. It was out. It was coming out for free.
Yeah, the game came out a couple of years ago or something. It's been out a while.
It wasn't that long ago.
No, I think it was
a new game.
Was it?
hot off the press.
Oh, it's been a while. Anyway.
But no, but then it dropped on Games of Gold on Xbox last week and the Twitch Prime thing, so you can get it on many formats for free at the moment. I was playing on Xbox. Picked it up on the weekend, had a bit of a blast. It's quite a short game. I sort of busted through the campaign, like story mode quite quickly. Once you finish the story, I say story, it's pretty weird. I'm not going to lie. I'm not entirely sure what was going on.
As I say, isn't it all just like slow motion? Like I was looking at the achievements, it's like killed. I mean, I knew it was red guys you killed anyway, but they're literally called red guys.
Yeah.
Or the achievements are like kill 100 red guys.
Just red guys.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so I mean, the big.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. No.
It does look genuinely really good. Like,
So
I've
the
downloaded it on both, but
Yeah, the whole premise of the game, for those not familiar with it, is it's an FPS in this like super stylized world. And there's a little thing at the beginning where like you are apparently some gamer chatting to his mate on some text chat thing, and it's like, oh yeah, check out this game, and they're like, and he starts playing it, and the kind of the big hook of it is it's an FPS, but time only moves when you move. So when the bullets are being fired at you and stuff, if you stand still, it's not entirely true. So the bullets still continue to move very slowly, but the enemy movement and stuff only happens when you move.
Is it chamber based kind of thing? Do you go into a room, complete that room?
It's just completely like set piece levels, and they're usually quite short, like maybe even a handful of rooms less. And there's like a set number of enemies you have to kill, and then the level finishes, and you just get dumped into the next one. I don't want to kind of spoiler kind of the reasons why it's happening, because you kind of find out a bit about it, and it gets kind of weird.
I think the general theme for this game is weird.
Yeah,
but it's just literally red and white.
Yeah.
The game is just red and white. It's very like Mirror's Edge style.
But the thing that struck me about playing it, so I say there are set numbers of enemies in each like level, and they always come from the same places, and it becomes kind of like a puzzle game essentially, because it's how the sequence of events to take down the enemies. Like there's one level where it dumps you, you spawn and you're in an elevator with 3 of these guys, and like you have to sort of figure out how to take them down, because 2 of them are going to shoot you the instant like you move too far. So yeah, it's
tough,
So like it's a really weird. The difficulty is really weird. Like some levels I get stuck on for like 20-30 minutes, just like having to try out different things, and then I go to the next level and just do it first time. But there's a few like
it kind of reminds me of Portal.
There's a few like cool little mechanics in it. So there are weapons, but there are like black objects in the game. Anything that's black you can pick up, and you can throw stuff at the enemies. And when you throw stuff, they always react by kind of like, in a kind of shocked manner, and they let go of their weapon, and you can pluck their weapon out of the air and use it against them, which is really cool, and it makes for some really interesting little scenarios, especially when you get the katanas. Did you say is it? Sorry,
Yeah, it's on. Sorry, yeah, it's on PSVR as well. So I can
Yeah.
imagine, what I was gonna say is like stuff like that where you pluck it out of the air and stuff. Imagine on the VR version, it'd be pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
that would be
sweet.
nuts actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a really fun game. I say like the sort of campaigny story mode thing is quite short. Once you finish that, you unlock a whole bunch of like special like challenge missions. Like there's a challenge mode where you have to do the whole story but only using the katana.
That sounds cool.
Which is really difficult. I tried doing the first level and failed miserably. It's really hard. And it also unlocks like a whole bunch of endless like mode levels. So it's like a set room where it just dumps you in and it will like keep spawning stuff, and it's just sort of see how long you can last.
That's a cool concept.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, this entire game is already tripping me out, and I've not even looked at it.
It's
I'm already confused. I haven't even
I
played it.
don't think I can deal with this.
I
My
mean,
tiny
it's-
brain is just not.
It's worth picking up. And I say it's been out a little while, so I mean, even on the places where it isn't currently free, it's probably not going to set you back much.
It's on, what's it on? Steam, PS4, Xbox?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's on everything.
everything apart from Switch. Isn't it?
Yeah, apart from Switch.
Yeah, apart from Switch.
I'll leave
Yeah,
it
get
now.
fucked, Rich.
Well, right, I remember reporting on it when I worked for My Nintendo News, and it was interesting to see because the art style is something that I haven't seen before. Like,
No.
I mean, Mirror's Edge, yeah, fair enough. You've got that.
I was just talking about
realistic
color
kind-
palette. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like super stylized, and like when you boot it up, all the menu system and all the sort of dialogue and stuff in the game is done in like an old kind of like DOS ASCII window.
Nice.
It's that kind of like old retro-y thing, but it's kind of it's done in a really nice way. So the screen kind of on the screen, it kind of bends like it's in a CRT.
Nice.
So yeah,
Sounds a good
it's like
touch. I think we need more games like that. Like, you know, the ones where you think, well, even the visuals just draw you in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? The mechanics sound incredible.
Yeah, like did you play Inside last year by the guys who did Limbo?
Yes, it's on mobile as well.
Is that on mobile?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's on mobile. Yeah, drain my battery in like 3
speaking
seconds.
of like
but-
art style, that just instantly just popped into my head, like games where it just sort of blows you away, and then you look at it, wow.
I love the games like that. That like they're not majorly like games like Limbo and Inside and Oxenfree and stuff like that. Like
Oxenfree, yes.
and like Firewatch as well. Like I love those narrative games where it's about the story and it's about the visuals and it's not about like running around killing people and stuff. Like,
Well, there's quite a lot of killing in Superhot.
yeah, I mean that's fair enough. But like I like the
Yeah,
stylized
I know what you mean.
feel of it.
Yeah.
Like,
I think
you're
it
progressing
kind
the
of.
story.
I think it reminds me. I remember one game that stood out artistically was 13.
Oh God, you know what? No one
that's
ever
going-
talks about that game.
Oh,
You're
That's
the
going
only
back
person
a
I
bit.
know.
Wow.
I had it on GameCube.
I don't know if Ed played it by the sounds of it, but that game.
I know of it. I don't
So good.
think I played it, but I do remember it. Yeah, because that was like a cell-shaded FPS.
It was a cell shaded
yeah.
FPS, yeah.
I know
yeah.
you liked it.
The story of that game was fucking fantastic. I was devastated they didn't do a sequel to that game because that ended on a real cliffhanger. And then they were like, "Oh, it's been canned." And I was like, "Oh, fuck me."
That sucks that when that happens in games. There's
Yeah.
a few games I've played where that's happened. Like, yeah, they're clearly setting up another one, expecting the game to do like really well, and then it doesn't quite meet what they were hoping it was going to do, and they're just like, well, we can't do another one.
But yeah, like what you're saying about it though, it's like that is like the start of like something like Borderlands coming into the fray and stuff, like that cell shaded FPS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with those types of games, they push it into your face, which is great. But the game mechanics and the way it plays, I think is equally matched. Like 13, yeah, fair enough, it's a bit clunky, but so were all FPS back then.
Yeah.
But then I suppose you get like Borderlands. But the difference between Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2, and even then, you know, the DLC,
Yeah.
they just refine it, and I think I love that art
100%.
style.
Oh, you got to think like 13 when they came out, they really pushed that on console as well. And like
Yeah,
at the time when what console FPSs were really that good, I mean there was loads that were out. I mean,
Time
when,
Splitters.
you got to think like,
Hello?
oh yeah, like how many were good? That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Like, how
fair
many
enough.
were good? Like,
Time Splitters,
yeah,
holy
Oh,
shit!
yeah, God.
like,
How did
really
we not
good
mention
console
that last
FPSs
week?
then.
God, we're going all retro again.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
I think it's just innately built into us. I think we're always just going
It
to
is.
get back to retro.
But
Yeah,
never play it. Always talk about.
yeah, I
playing
still
it.
buy it for playing it and then
I've
never
got-
go back to it. Yeah.
I've got a SNES Mini sent to me on Twitter, and I've played it once.
Do you know what's brilliant?
Sorry to the guy who sent
I
it. to me.
bought bought one because I was like, oh, Alice, we can play this over Christmas. And we plugged it in on Christmas Day.
And your eyes bled.
We put Donkey Kong in, and I thought I remembered Donkey Kong being co-op, like true co-op.
Yeah.
No, it weren't fucking co-op.
Great lied to you.
So you just sat and played it on your own?
Yeah,
No,
basically, yeah. I had to kill myself so she could have a go. And,
You got into that routine where you're like, yeah, we'll take turns. You watch me, then I'll watch you.
well, no, because,
I died again.
The thing is, you had 2 pads in, and it was co-op, but you had to die to let the other monkey have a go.
So if you think about it, I'm not surprised because the
It was
SNES
old,
was such a low
well,
power
I
console.
thought I could have swore it was co-op, and I was like, oh, fuck this console. I sold it.
What, for double the price?
No, they weren't worth it. No, because like, by that point, even at Christmas, they were only worth the 70 quid still because they were still in supply. So I was just like, oh, well, fuck it. I'll make
Well,
my
house with one now.
yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Made my money back. But there you go. So that's
course.
this week's
Of course you
games that we're playing. Perry, you said you weren't playing nothing.
Yeah,
So
just
we're
skip me.
skipping you,
I'm
or-
not. Yeah, skip me. I
He
play
played
RuneScape.
He
I play
kept some
RuneScape,
stuff.
right? Fuck off.
I mean, aside from like the handful of hours I spent with Superhot,
What was that?
Oh, did you hear that?
Is that still going? Oh,
Don't start me off, Rich. All right.
No, 'cause
Just-
he loves RuneScape, and that's all that matters. Okay.
It's not bad. Well, if it's still going.
It's not bad. It's fantastic.
How many hours you plugged into it?
Don't
Don't
ask
ask
me
him
that
that.
Oh,
I think I checked
No.
on the anniversary of making my account, and so obviously my account had been
Anniversary.
active for 364 days, and
Days.
I'd put in like 190 days, something. Yeah, it was
Full days.
it was disturbing. It was disturbing.
Rich is like, I play Splatoon a lot.
I'm like,
But not that much.
do you dream about it?
We've had like
do you dream
yes,
about it?
yes, I do. I have had RuneScape dreams.
I knew it.
I've had RuneScape dreams, and so this true story.
amazing.
So, and it was literally a few months ago. So there's a prestigious item in the game called the Dragon Warhammer, and it's like a 1 in 5,000 drop chance from this fucking one monster that is a bitch to kill. And 2 days before I got the item, I had a dream that I got the item, and it was so vivid that I got up the next day. Like, before I got in the shower and went to work, I logged into RuneScape. I was like, did I fucking get this item? Like, checked my bank, wasn't there. Devastated.
Did you call
I'm
it?
just going to move my chair because I'm like hitting
Devastating.
the radiator and it's making a weird squeak. So, yeah, there we go.
So yes, I have had
We're
RuneScape
good.
dreams.
Is it still free to play?
Yeah. It's free to play. But there is obviously a membership as well that you can subscribe, but you can also pay with in-game currency.
Ah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to- if it works on Mac.
Oh, God. What have you done? You've
I know,
actually
I'm gonna do it.
just forged a RuneScape player.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. I
there
loved
you
it
go.
back in the day.
Rich,
Loved it. Absolutely.
Don't fuck with me right now.
No, I'm not.
Because
there's no third-
I will
I'm gonna
wrap
check it
this
out.
game around you.
Well,
Is
well, hell.
like legit. If you want to play, we'll play
Yeah,
because
cool.
it's a great game, and I need
The only
more.
thing is,
I need more
Perry's-
RuneScape.
Then
Perry's
you
not
can
playing.
come back on the podcast and
Yeah.
tell us about how you got
with
on
like
with
red
RuneScape.
eyes and
Yeah.
like half the size.
But
'cause
like,
I'm not
oh,
eaten.
I don't review games anymore. I just play
Yeah.
RuneScape.
Nintendo Live.
RuneScapers life.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So
Oh, well.
well, let's move on to the news section anyway because
Yeah.
I am Pooh Boy and I don't play games. So
Should we
who
talk
wants to
new
start?
releases
Go on
this
then.
week?
Yeah,
got a
it feels
couple
like
of
there's a lot
nice-
going on.
There's
There is a
there's
lot
actually,
going on.
well, there's one that's not on our planner, but there's
Yeah,
one that's
big
out.
one.
Out. So is it today or was
Yeah,
it yesterday?
today. If
Tuesday. Shit, it's because we normally record on Wednesday. I was like,
Yeah.
fuck, it's Wednesday. But it's
It's
not.
not.
It came out today. Sea of Thieves. I
Sea
literally
of
just
Thieves.
downloaded it. I can see it on the right hand side of my eye.
I'm
It's
going
on
to
the
download
screen.
it when we are done here. I'm going to set it downloading.
I mean, I'm not even going to get a chance to play it till the weekend, so I'm probably going to
I was
wait.
going to say, yeah.
I think
not
I'm the
gonna play
same.
it till the-
Like we've got such an action.
Yeah, we've actually got a crazy week this week. Yes, I'm not even going to get to play anything till maybe, I don't know.
Thursday night
Friday.
is my games night. It's
Friday,
my
Saturday.
allocated night
Close the
this week.
doors.
I was like, I'm playing games. Don't talk to me. That's it.
Sea of Thieves then. The beta, I heard it had some issues.
Well, I don't know
Yeah.
about issues.
Well,
I
no,
had
it
issues.
did. It did have some
Well,
issues.
it's a
Connection
beta.
server.
It's a what?
So it was a beta, so it didn't technically have issues. It was still being.
Well,
Still being
it had
tested.
issue. The biggest issue was the people that had purchased the game and signed up for the beta, basically, and like got the beta. They tried to activate their accounts and it didn't work. And
Okay.
Microsoft were basically like, yeah, you need to refund the game, then buy it again, and then activate the new code. And everyone was like, you fucking joking. Like,
this is the problem with the Microsoft Store, is that it's just shit.
yeah.
At least you can get refunds.
Well, yeah, I guess, but it shouldn't be that shit. It shouldn't be that shit.
From a company like Microsoft, yeah, it just shouldn't be in the state that it's in.
Anyway, the game's out now.
Yeah, it's out now.
It's out.
And apparently there are no
today.
problems.
Well, you
I
say
haven't
that.
seen anything yet.
Well,
But,
I was watching Gathalion and his crew.
His crew.
He was streaming earlier, and I watched them for about half an hour trying to get into the game.
Oh no.
So the servers had a bit of a meltdown, but it did come back up. But they were having all manner of issues trying to connect to each
GG
other.
Microsoft.
Yeah, well done,
GG.
Mike. But it's the same. I think
Is it
same
Microsoft?
launch release.
It's-
Same, yeah.
Same with it.
Yeah,
The thing is,
and
the thing
yeah.
is that they're going to be double challenged because they've released the game today and it's free on. Well, I say free. If you
Yeah.
have Xbox Game Pass, you can download the game. So if you have £8 spare, you can get the full game.
You don't even need
Xbox
£8
Game Pass.
because you can get the 2
get a
week
trial.
free
Yeah, exactly.
trial.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So that is blatantly getting hammered today, with everybody being like,
Yeah.
"Oh fuck it, let's try it out." So it's going to be great for them. They're like, "Oh look, we've had 2 million players in a day or something."
Oh yeah, it's good bragging rights.
But then we'll see how it is in a month's time.
But yeah,
Which I think is going to be interesting.
they've had people taking down the Kraken.
Yeah, people are already
already?
taking down the
But
crowd.
apparently, so I saw an article saying, "Oh, people have already taken down the Kraken," but somebody in the comments was saying that Rare have said the Kraken encounters, like the more you level up and the more you play the game, the Kraken encounters get more difficult.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So there's like a sort of multiple. There's like almost a progression to the encounter. So it'd be interesting to see sort of how it ramps up. I did enjoy yesterday. I saw their day one patch, which amused me greatly.
Was it bigger than the game?
No, there's an item in the store. There's an eye patch called the day one patch.
Oh, right. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you sent a picture of this in the
Which
group chat, didn't you?
It's just amazing. It's an eye patch with just a red one on it.
Can you only get it on day one?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Do I have to
It's not
download
about
and
to-
play the
Yeah,
game
we'll stop
I
today.
wouldn't have thought so.
to get
Bring
this?
it up now.
Because we'll pause the podcast and I'll play this game and get the eye patch. Fuck you all, I don't care.
I don't know.
So yeah, that's out today.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves.
We're gonna play that. We're gonna play that the weekend.
Yeah.
gonna be great.
One for Perry, Ni no Kuni 2 is out this week as well, which is getting mixed-ish reviews. I don't know if you've seen. Did you play Ni no Kuni
No,
2 one at all
no,
yourself?
but I've heard mixed reactions at the moment.
It's,
Well, the
it's not
first
doing
one was-
too bad in
Well,
in
the
terms
first
of
one was overall
reviews.
praised, though. Like the first one was pretty revered, and this one seems to be getting. It's solid mostly across the board, but then there's a few which are a bit like, nah, this game's a bit. Yeah.
It's like 8s and 9s across the board. Like from what I've seen, it's 8s and 9s.
I've seen
like, it's
lower.
not
I've seen
bad.
lower than that
It
as
seems
well.
good.
Yeah.
I've seen some lower scores than that.
I hear the story is not as sort of captivating as the first game, but
Yeah.
but you obviously have this level 5 production in this Ghibli-esque, like animation cutscenes and stuff like that. Like you just can't not love the game. Like it's going to be one of those games. I'm going to play it. I'm going to fall back in love with the style, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to rewatch all the old Ghibli films in 2 days. Like you can't not love the style that they've produced. I mean, I'm a bit concerned, mostly because Mr. Drippy's not in it, and Mr. Drippy is the best character in any game ever, because he's
Just
literally
by the name, to be fair.
Mr. Drippy, by the way, is this small Welsh little
he's a fairy.
long-nosed
He's a
creature.
Welsh fairy
Yeah.
that has a lantern for a nose.
I seem to recall you showing me a
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
What's not to love about that?
fantastic. He's genuinely the best character, like one of my favourite game characters ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not in it.
So he's not in it, and then that gives me a
It's
sad.
not, obviously, it's not the same character as the first game, is it?
No,
it's a whole
so
new
it's
set
like-
of characters, isn't it?
So it's established in the first game that there are different universes that run parallel to each other, basically, and this is supposedly set in another parallel universe.
Okay.
So it's a bit of a cop out in that, like, they could do 57 Ni no Kuni games and they all
So I
run
was
in
gonna
parallel
say,
universes.
So basically,
Like,
they've basically set themselves up to be like Final Fantasy, essentially, and be like, we can do what the fuck we want with this.
Which is not a
Kind
bad
of.
thing, really.
kind
kind
of,
of.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
not bad,
I don't know. I mean, I desperately want to play it. I mean, the problem
It's out on
is.
Friday. Buy it, Perry.
Yeah, but it's only on. Is it a PS4 exclusive?
No, it's on PC.
Oh shit!
That's some realization.
Oh shit!
It's out on PC on Friday.
Well, Perry's not playing Sea of Thieves with us this weekend.
No, I'm not. Fuck you guys. No, I'll
CDkeys.com.
divide my time.
Yeah,
Plug. CDkeys.com. Go there, buy all your games.
Actually, saying that, but moving on to the other titles out this week. Actually, me and Az, we were talking about playing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's A Way Out, which is this kind of co-op sort of prison breakout-y style thing that looks really cool.
I want to throw it out there that Joseph Fares, the guy who's directing this game, is now my favourite game developer. Have you ever seen this guy or know anything about this game?
I know a little bit about the game, but I don't know about
Joseph Fares is fucking nuts. Like, this dude was on the Game Awards. I only saw this recently. This is like old news, but it was fucking hilarious. I only saw it because obviously all the stuff with the game coming out.
I don't know what you're going to say.
He basically went on the Game Awards and was like, he started rambling on about fuck the Oscars. He's like, fuck the Oscars. This is the best medium in the world. Interactive gaming experiences and all this shit. And he's just like going ape shit. And like this dude's like, he's like, dude, you need to show your trailer. Like, we're not going to have time to show your trailer if you keep talking. He's like, no, 1 more minute. Fuck the Oscars. And it's like, whoa, dude.
Wow, that sounds great.
It's really funny, but like, yeah, he's basically, and the other quote that I like of his is, if someone tells him his game is shit, he will say, fuck you, no it's not.
Brilliant.
I mean, it's no nonsense.
I mean,
More
yeah.
developers should follow that.
Yeah.
More, rather than, I take your,
your criticism. He's like, no, fuck you. This game is great.
Let me just resculpt my game to match your preference. It's just like no.
To be fair, the game looks fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I saw a bit on the game. But sorry, going back to Twitch, but they went. I can't remember what publication it was who interviewed
probably Joseph Fares, yeah.
And they said, "What about a Switch version?" Because that's what everyone's doing. They're jumping over. And they said, "Right, it's not going on. We didn't get the dev kits early enough, or it was too late in production when Switch was properly announced. And also, you'd have to buy the Pro controller. He said you wouldn't be able to play it using the traditional Joy-Con."
Really?
Yeah. So he said, "Well, I'm not doing that. I don't want people buying stuff that they don't need."
What the fuck?
I will.
Well, actually, to be fair, no, he has a point, because the only way the game is strictly co-op. It is only a co-op game. You cannot play single player.
Yeah, if you don't have any friends, it matchmakes you. No, it matchmakes you with somebody.
If you don't have any friends, you can't play this game.
No, if you don't have friends, it matchmakes you with somebody else.
It would be way better if it was like, get a fucking friend, you nerd.
It gives you a friend code. It gives you a friend code though. If you buy the game, you get a code to give to a friend so they can play with you. So only one of you needs to buy the game. Because
that's pretty cool.
That is really cool. I'm not gonna lie, that is a real great mechanic.
It's not full price either. And I want to just correct something I said last week, because I hate like getting shit wrong. Last week I said that EA was making no money off the game. That wasn't true.
This is our first correction.
The situation what I was on about last week is actually that all the money for the game is going to the dev company that's making it, because they're not actually part of EA. This is actually just being published by EA under something called like EA Originals. Yeah. Hence, you can't download it at the moment on EA Access and Origin Access.
Right. Okay.
Like most EA games do. It's not actually an EA game. It's an EA game, but it's not an EA game.
EA Originals. I think the first game that came out was a few weeks back. That I got the what was it called? It was by Zoink Games.
All right.
Zoink. And then they publish, or they use the EA original thing, and it seems to just be blowing up.
I think it's just a thing that EA are doing for small devs to basically say, here you go.
They've got bad rep as well.
It's a platform.
It's like an exposure.
I guess I think it's EA trying to salvage some of the bad rep a bit.
Some of the bad rep.
Some of the bad rep. All of the bad rep that they have. So yeah, that was actually wrong last week. What that is, the money's actually going to the devs, not the EA aren't making any money. Is what
makes a change.
What was actually going on. So yeah, that looks great. And the other interesting thing about the game as well, which I thought was mad, is that it's always split screen as well. So even if you're playing online,
you see both views.
You can see the player.
So you always see both perspectives. So you always see what's happening.
How do you feel about that?
See, I think it's kind of cool, but I wouldn't want to do it online I'd want to be. If I played a game, I'd rather be playing it with a friend, like on the sofa, if possible, because like I just think that's what they're going for, and that's to be fair, that's what he was harping on about as well. And I think he's brainwashed me, that man. To be honest, brainwashed
I feel
he's like, you should be playing this with a friend on a sofa. Spanish.
Is that what he sounds
That's
like?
an excellent accent.
That's my terrible accent. But yeah, that's what he was like. He's like, play it on a sofa with a friend.
Okay.
Anyway.
Let's maybe stop the awful Spanish accent before we offend some of our viewers.
Moving on.
Oh dear. All right, what else we got?
I think
What
Az, do you want to talk about, you've stuck on here Assassin's Creed?
Oh yeah,
Well,
massive rumour. There's no potential validity to this, but apparently it's rumoured that the next Assassin's Creed game that's going to be out next year is going to be set in ancient Greece, which is a nice change again.
I'm wondering how much of a rumour this is and what it's just more rampant speculation, because I think even when I finished Origins, was like, Greece is a kind of logical next step.
Well, I think Egypt was rumoured for a long time before it came out as well. Well, there was a lot of
Wait, where is this Assassin's Creed set?
Egypt.
Yeah, if you haven't played the game, it doesn't make sense, but Greece is the next logical step.
Okay.
There's story stuff.
Okay,
it was either Greece.
Just not in great, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil stuff. But yeah.
How did this rumor come about? Where's it sourced?
Yeah. Who told you, Az?
BG247 told me earlier today when I was on a meeting call and I was not doing what I was told. So
let's have a look at it now.
Let's pull it up. Let's see.
Liam Robertson. Fair enough. He is quite a good source.
Is he a trustworthy individual?
He is good. He's a bit of a dick, to be fair, so I hope he won't.
It's trustworthy.
He's trustworthy, but he's a dick.
We had a Twitter, me, him, and this other leaker called, actually, I won't bring up names. We had a bit of a... So, Liam...
People are going to get fired.
No, Liam does work for my Nintendo Live, and he also does stuff for Unseen 64. So like they uncover stuff from other guys. So as a journalist, is pretty good. But
I know the site. I know Unseen 64. I didn't know his name. I'm now interested. It's on comicbook.com. Multiple sources linked to Ubisoft. So,
but that's it.
Some guy they met in a pub. He works in
some
the
dude, obviously a urinal, and this dude was like, the next Assassin's Creed is going to be in Greece. Okay.
Sweet. That's a new story.
Right about this.
Right, what's your next one? What you got?
Well, I think we could probably wrap the news up there. I mean, there's nothing else that I'm desperate to talk about.
The only thing I would like to bring up is the God of War.
Oh, the God of War trailer that dropped.
Because is it COD 4 then? I was like, what?
No, God of War.
God of War 4.
Because that was nice. That was nice.
Digital
God
Foundry.
I've never played God of War game.
Neither have I, actually.
And this, I looked at it and I was like,
look at these guys.
What?
Rich is out.
Let's hang up.
Well, I haven't actually. Yeah, PS4 is my first PlayStation. I've always been Xbox.
Fuck.
So yeah, there you go.
Fuck.
So that's why I've never played God of War.
Oh well, you'll be fucking pleasantly surprised. Do you know what you should do? Because why am I pointing at the mic? Like I said, do you know what you should do? Do you know what you should do? Is go buy God of War 3 PS4.
Oh, is there a remaster?
There's a remaster. You should
Okay.
go buy that. That is great. That's fucking fantastic.
Well, don't you tell me what to do, but I might do.
Well, do it anyway.
Yeah, right.
I didn't complete it, but I think relatively was the end of God of War 2, but they're quite short. I thought.
Yeah. Well, they're hack and slash, like
Okay, if it's short, that's selling me because I don't have a lot of time.
We don't have a lot of time these days.
God of War 3 is probably about 10-12 hours, I reckon.
Okay, yeah, no, I could do that.
Is God of War 3 the Dad of War game? Or is this...
No, that's
Dad of War's the
God of
new
War
one.
4,
That's 4.
which is coming out.
Yeah,
Good.
It's just called God of War, though, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a reboot.
No, it's going to be called
God
Dad
of War
of
is a
War,
reboot.
and I'm only ever going to call it Dad of War. And
Beard of War.
I will play Dad of War because it looks like a fun game.
You don't have a PS4.
Yeah, well, good.
Okay.
All right,
right.
this new section
Well,
is getting out of hand.
it looks nice though.
It does.
Well,
It looks very good, and I do want to play it. I will steal your PS4, or we'll play it together. Or
Yeah,
something.
you can borrow my PS4 when I.
If anyone cares about graphics as well, go over to. I'll plug these guys because I think they're fantastic. Go to Digital Foundry on YouTube and watch their feature
Analysis.
on the checkerboard rendering that it's using for God of War. It's great.
Alright. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, news.
So that's our new section.
Right,
It
news
was
done.
a bit, squiffy.
Drawing a line under it.
Yeah.
We draw a line under it because we did that thing where we taper off.
Just like, where are we going with it?
We want to, because we've got a guest, we would like to ask you some questions, Rich, and give us some insight in the in sort of what it's like to be a game reviewer.
Yeah. So how long have you actually been doing it now? Is I guess the best place to start.
Well, officially, I've been with Nintendo Live probably about a month now, so not that long. But before that, I worked at My Nintendo News. So My Nintendo News was purely just, news. But My Nintendo
Was it news about Nintendo?
It was news, yeah.
What?
It was, actually. And we got up to 500,000 Twitter followers.
Really?
Wow.
So,
That's more than us.
That's more than our 56. What the fuck? Who would have thought?
So it was really, really good fun. I mean, to be fair, it did get stressful around E3.
I can imagine.
Yeah, E3 was heavy. So we had we had people in America. We had a couple of people in America, one I think or two in the UK, and others dotted around. But yeah, so I worked there, and then before that, I actually worked for 2 weeks at Nintendo Official.
Right.
I told you. I don't know if I told you about. I did that for my work experience.
Okay.
So yeah, that was cool. So and now I'm now with Nintendo Live as a game reviewer. Quite cool.
Yeah, full on games reviewer.
Full on, yeah.
So
How is it? Sorry, Ed, go ahead.
No. So I was just saying. So are you kind of like full time or freelance? Is it like a contracty sort of freelance thing, or how's it set up?
I have a day job in insurance. Woohoo!
Nice.
So, which is one of the most. No, it's not. It's not too bad. But no, and then I do Nintendo Live stuff every evening.
Okay.
So every moment I've got spare is playing games. So what happens is we've got a team of about 15 from Japan to US to UK to Australia, and we all share the bits. We all have like a chat room going on. We send each other. We've got a news team, we've got a features team, a YouTube team as well, which is going really well. But
Cool.
the reviewing side of things, we've got quite a few people. Obviously, look, I don't like sports games.
Yeah.
So it's quite good. We get quite a lot of independent people coming over to us, indies coming over, and they'll give us the code, and then we just review it. But there are strict guidelines like embargoes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's really good fun.
Yeah, because for me, I mean, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, how is it? Because for me, is it? I mean, obviously, it's probably a bit early on for you because you've only just been doing it for a month, but. Do you think it's going to slowly kill your love of playing games, or is it like?
Well, as you know, we worked in games retail, Game Station back in the day. Now, did that when you worked there?
No, but the difference for that is we weren't having to play the games as such. You know, we were just selling them, and that was easy because it's like, I love this because I shoot things in the face. You know,
so for me, that put me off. Being at Game Station. Saying to viewers, listeners, me and Az worked at Game Station back in the day for a few years.
We did before it went bust and Game took over and all that stuff. Well, Game took over when we were there.
In a better world where Game Station was a thing.
Yeah,
I remember rocking up at Game Station in between periods at college and just hanging out.
Fucking hanging out. Yeah. Just literally hanging out. Literally, it was just, we used to do some fucking dumb shit in that shop as well. No wonder it went fucking bust. We used to do some dumb shit in that shop.
We cannot explain.
Stuff we can't talk about on a podcast. But yeah.
Well, now I'm intrigued.
I think.
So
I remember one day you came down dressed as Wally, in a big cardboard box, and you fell down the stairs, and like customers were walking in the store, and you're on the floor going, "Wowie!" And they're so, "Whoa!"
Wally wasn't even out for anything at that point. No. Probably in the bargain bin with dust and like vomit all over it. But I talked, and then and I went over to CEX.
Yeah, I knew.
CEX, worst times of my life.
Defected.
It was. Oh, I don't know if anyone else has worked in gaming retail here. Harriet, have you?
No. I had to think then.
I mean, you've worked in a lot of games-related jobs.
Oh yeah, I've worked for publishers, but I haven't worked in retail.
I think working with something you love is difficult because I'm on my third review. I finish it when I get home tonight, but I'm on my third review, and although I get to go, no, I don't want to review that, or when my manager comes to me and gives me the option to review a game, I'll look it up, do a bit of research on it. But it's a brilliant opportunity for me to play games that I never usually play.
Yeah, that aspect's got to be fun.
Yeah, and there's always the good idea. The best thing about it is I'm not going to lie, you get to play games before anyone else.
Yeah.
Which is great, and there are gems that are going to crop up. I'm not reviewing like the big ones like the Bayonetta, the Mario, the Zelda at the moment, but that's what I think personally. That's what I'm going to aim for.
Yeah, I was going to say
full-time job. I think.
So what's like the process for that then? Like, do you just is it just your body of work until they think, oh, actually this guy's really good, and then they're like, okay, you can start reviewing the bigger games and stuff? Or?
Yeah, I think. In terms of starting out, I did used to review games back on my own website that I used to run. I used to run a DS website when I was at school, and we got quite up in the rankings and stuff like that. Not as high as Nintendo Life or My Nintendo News, but I think having that experience and, for instance, going, oh, here are my articles for My Nintendo News, is a great way to kind of display what you can do, but actually writing them from start to finish is really fun. Because like you said on your last week episode, Halo is good. That is not going to wash. Even if you just press the O loads of times.
I imagine like being a game reviewer, it kind of forces you to look at games in ways that you probably wouldn't normally look at them. Like I suppose you have to be a lot more analytical about it and think about not just like, are you enjoying the game, but also like,
it's like what the game represents. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and I think you're right. You're absolutely right. And one thing that I've learned already, even in my third review because I send it off to an editor on CMS, and then it gets put behind on the back thing, so I can see behind the scenes of the website, and then he that will then review my review, and it's you've got to kind of leave the fanboy at the door, which is hard. It is really, really, you've got to detach yourself. So instead of going, this is what you do, this is what happens, you get to use this item, you've kind of got to put a spin on it. A game is there to make the players have an enjoyable experience. That's the basis of a game, much like a movie. How they do it is how they do it is what you've got to explain. So, if a mechanic is there, for instance, so say collect quest, does it work? And if it doesn't, then the reader will want to know, because the reader is reading it because they want to know, does it do what it says on the tin? So it's difficult to not do a list because it's ad nauseum, just basically listing what a game does. You've got to say to them, well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't quite work. So it's a difficult way to look at things. Are
there any titles that you just flat out would refuse to review? Like, and I'm thinking.
Remember that midnight launch we had to do for FIFA? Just speaking of FIFA, just phone thing with it. We did a midnight launch for FIFA at Game Station once, and 2 people came in, and one of them was this drunk dude who just wanted to play me at FIFA.
And he didn't
even buy he didn't buy the game. It's like, what the fuck?
I know. He probably didn't even want to be fair.
I probably didn't.
I was thinking more in the respect of like, because you don't want to ruin the gaming franchise for you. So for example, like, I would never want to review RuneScape because it would make me point out and notice the bad things about the game, which there are none, just saying. So, like, are there any game titles or anything like that where you wouldn't want to review it because you just want to enjoy it as a player rather than a reviewer?
Yeah, definitely. There are there are the main AAA titles. So, for instance, one game that I'm absolutely looking forward to, and all we got was a logo at E3, was Metroid Prime 4. So, for instance, that's a game that I've followed since I was a kid, the Metroid series, and that's one that I just want to kind of. So, I just to go off on a tangent, I use the weekends to play the games that I'm not reviewing, which is odd, but because of my working pattern, getting from work, have dinner, eat, whatever, and then it's work to me now.
Yeah. Are you quite strict about that then? Are you able to like keep that kind of like quite strict routine? Right?
Definitely. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where you the worst thing about it is if like a social thing comes up. Is really not bad or anything, but I need a lot more planning. So my days are now, when I'm at work, I won't even look at the Nintendo. I won't look at gaming news, even on my lunch. But then when I get in to put dinner on, whatever, that's it. That's gaming journalism time. So although I make it probably sound quite not boring but restricted, but you do have to get into the mindset. But I'm still enjoying the game that I'm playing, and I think the best thing I'm doing, not enjoying it, but enjoying telling people why it's not good. And I think it's okay, for instance, plug in the Switch, but I can play it anywhere, so I can take it away.
Yeah, I guess that helps actually. Yeah,
definitely. That's kind of the
okay. Are we allowed to
stuff on that machine?
Are we allowed to know what you're reviewing at the moment? Because I noticed you haven't mentioned a name.
You can say no.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
I can't say about the one that I'm reviewing now.
Okay, fair enough.
What were the two previous? Do we know what they were?
Yeah, in fact, the last one surprised me. So there was a game. It's a game called. I spoke to the developer today actually, and the embargo lifted today, so I can post it and I can say it's out. Is one called Slayaway Camp, called Butcher's Cut. So it takes. It's like a kind of a puzzler, voxel art isometric puzzler. Right. Like kind of like Monument on mobile. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kind of that, but it's a hack and slash. Blood goes on the screen and everything like that. It's like cute little characters, kind of like Lego or Minecraft. But they've chucked in loads of stuff and optimized it for the Switch. And that is another difficult thing because it's on mobile, but then it jumps over to console, and trying to not play it on mobile is one of the most difficult things because I want to see what it's like on a different. But
you're reviewing one platform.
Yeah.
And you've got to constantly draw yourself back to what your who your audience is, and and why they're gonna read that. So that's gonna drop, I think, probably tonight or tomorrow. But I can't talk about the next one because it's
When's your review out? When's the embargo out?
Embargo is end of the month.
Okay, so your review will be out at the end.
Yeah. So some developers are quite strict on their embargo. Mainly because
they don't want to fuck sales up, basically, do they? Let's be honest.
Some could argue, and I wanted to get your opinion on this actually. Why do you think developers will wait until like the night before release or a day after release? Do you reckon that's a
pre-orders?
Pre-orders, yeah, 100%.
Pre-orders.
100%
Because
pre-orders.
you think, especially for AAA games, especially if they know, I mean, you can tell it's the same with cinema. If they know their film is shit, they will hold that review back. It's very rare. Film. I mean, it does happen. I think like the reviews for Deadpool didn't drop till the day before it came out. But that film was like a critical success and financial success.
Yeah.
In the game world, a big one that springs to mind was the last Doom game.
Yeah.
They held that to the last minute, and everyone was like, "It's Doom, like it's going to be rubbish." And then it released, and everyone was like, "This is really good."
It does happen, but I think there's still that fear, especially because I mean, do the devs read your? I don't know if you can disclose that. Do they see the review before you release your review, or?
No, I'm quite happy. I'll be as transparent as I can. So first of all, we don't get paid for good reviews.
Right.
That doesn't happen because I see that everywhere. I don't know if you guys have talked about it previously, but a lot of websites do come under. Do come under. I hope they're not watching because that'll be my job.
Let's be real.
You ain't jumping into IGN, mate.
No, but IGN were under a lot of heat over the last few years about they've sometimes their score is really high and it's usually by EA. I do like EA. Like just thought I'd put that out there, but. And a lot of I think a lot of individuals and a lot of other publications see good reviews as like they've been paid for, but that doesn't happen. It does not happen.
No, but that I wasn't on about them paying you. I was more on about, do they see your review before their game releases? Like, will they see that?
Nope.
So they don't.
No.
So there you go then. That's the answer to the question. That seals the deal, is that they don't want to release that embargo because just in case people do shit on it. If they don't know what you're going to say and they're worried they're going to think people think their game's shit, they're going to be like, we'll hold that shit. And then be pleasantly surprised with something like Doom, obviously, where they might have been scared of that.
But what interests me is fair enough, I can understand that about the smaller indie. Like, for instance, this game that I'm about to review tonight is from a Swedish developer or two developers, and they've got a strict embargo. I can imagine because it's damaging. We're the highest. Nintendo Life is the most popular Nintendo site in the world now, and my review will sway sales by thousands. It can do, and I think fair enough for the smaller ones. But people like Doom,
It's stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
For
a smaller indie dev where they are relying on making some money from a game, and if you go in there and shit on, they're not going to make any.
The thing though is that, like, embargo or not, at the end of the day, once the review drops, like, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. Like, they're not going to stop word getting out.
Yeah.
Like,
You'll be surprised though, people who do buy stuff on a whim without seeing a review to start off with, especially like a pre-purchase and stuff like that. They think, oh, that looks alright, they might pre-purchase it. But if they see a review's out already, that will sway them not to do that.
I'm like the opposite person now. Like, I don't typically, if I read a review, it's only after I played the game. Like, and it's mostly because I formed my own opinion and I want to know what other people's opinions are.
I mean, weirdly, actually, a lot of times, or more regularly these days, unless it's something I'm mega hyped about, which is very few games, I'll wait till it releases and I'll watch people play it on Twitch.
Yeah.
And to get like an opinion of, like, see how it actually plays with somebody playing it, and for like get an opinion that way. I'm not saying that I don't read reviews, but
yeah,
I
read a lot of reviews, but yeah, typically for me it will never be before I've played the game. Like, and I suppose it is for the reason that if it is a negative review, but for a game that I really want to play, I don't want it to affect my decision to purchase it or play it or whatever.
See, I'm the opposite. I do read reviews before games comes out. I'll check, like, I mean, you probably see it on Reddit. People go on there and they post. I mean, I think I sent you guys a link to the No Kuni one the other day, actually, where people go on there and they'll post like 10 different or more websites and put the scores from each on there, and then I'll click through and have a look.
So do you think sites like, I don't know if you guys use it, and a lot of probably your listeners will cringe when I say it, but Metacritic.
Yeah, I go on Metacritic.
Yeah, I've read a few Metacritic reviews.
I don't really look at Metacritic. I look, like I say, I use more like Reddit or VG247.
I mean,
I look at quite often.
I would use Metacritic as something of a general barometer of, like, even just like going by the colouring, like, you know, you just get a sense of, is the game all right or is it absolute garbage? Like, you know, if it's got a red mark, then, you know, it's probably not going to be very good. I don't take stock in, like, all the individual scores and stuff. Like, I have my news sites that I favour to read and whatnot, and you know, quite a lot of times I'll read reviews of games that I've maybe like heard in passing or have a vague kind of knowledge of, and I will read a review of a game to almost learn more about it for, like, stuff that I'm not quite as invested in,
to fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
What you're doing, and I think when now being a reviewer and working as a feature writer and even a news writer previously, I read reviews for different reasons. I mean, I used to get the Nintendo magazines and stuff, which was quite cool because it would, it'd be time specific. You'd get once a month, but now it was so readily available. I use reviews now. So, for instance, I'll get interested in the game. E3 is a big thing for me, for you as well, and I'm sure you guys. I read reviews to see how the game differs from how it was sold to me. Cough, No Man's Sky. Cough. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a very, very good point.
Yeah.
So that the review is I will get a review. I'll get a code, but it will always be a retail code. So it'll be a game which isn't in alpha or beta. It'll be a game that's we will not review we can do previews, but that's always a portion of the game we can talk about. So it would be, if you see preview on a website, it'll be part of the game they can talk about.
Would you get stuff that's like essentially gold master like release candidate status, but say minus like day one patch?
So like a part review kind of thing?
No. So it would be the release code, but not with like a day one patch. So say like Sea of Thieves today, if that came out with like a 10 gig patch, obviously you're paying before they've put that. Playing before they put that patch online.
Yeah. So we would get. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan of them, but it's the only workaround really. We will get the pre-patch.
Yeah.
We'll get the pre-patch because
that's really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. So we would get the pre-patch. However, we would then the developer would tell us along with the embargo, and then the developer would say day one patch is going to happen, and what we would do is we'd put score pending.
Yeah. I was going to say, I've seen that on other sites. Like, I remember when Evil Within came out, that needed a huge day one patch, and that was reviewed. I think, funny enough, it was IGN who reviewed the game all about. But they reviewed it, and they held their score back for the day one patch because it was fucked, basically, before they released it. So there's no other way to put it. It was fucked.
As is technical term of the week, guys.
It was fucked. It was fucked. So,
yeah. And I think, it's very different. I think it's very different with platforms as well. So, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but this is probably why I'm here as well. But for instance, the games we get, like first-party games, especially, the day one patch is almost we don't care about. Like the Nintendo community doesn't really care much about patches because generally the games are they're smaller games. Fair enough. I'm sure you can probably agree, but I think there's not much need for patch after.
No. Well, the thing is that the nice thing about Nintendo games is as well, or the Switch in general, is everybody knows it's not an Xbox One X. It's not a PS4 Pro. It's not going to give you mind-blowing graphics and performance and things like that. If you're playing Doom on a Switch and you're expecting 60 FPS and 1080p, just fuck off and buy a PlayStation, please, because it's not the console for you. Like, get real.
That's right.
So there's a brick.
And I the other day, it was really random, like sense. I don't know, whatever it was, but I grabbed my Switch and I had it in my bag playing it at work. And then I put it on top of my PS4. Fair enough, I don't have a Pro, but I put it on my PS4. I thought, this is the size. This is smaller than the disc tray.
Yeah.
The Switch is smaller than the disc tray. I thought, what it's pushing out is pretty incredible. I mean, I think we'd all like nice graphics all the time, and PS5 dev kits are already out to developers, but I think we're pushing.
This is the thing, and that's what's nice about it. But the thing is, what the machine's churning out is unreal, and the other beauty of it as well is being Nintendo. I wouldn't be surprised if next year, and you'll probably agree, or I don't even know if you've heard rumblings anyway, of a hardware revision next year, like they did with DS. You get more powerful versions of 3DS. I mean, again, plug in Digital Foundry, but they would talk about the new Tegra chips, because the Tegra chip the NVIDIA Tegra chip that's in the current Switch already has a second iteration out, which they're talking about is potentially going to go in the hardware, the next hardware version of the Switch. And it's like double the power of the current one. So if people talk about graphics and performance and stuff like that, there's nothing to say the next year's version of the Switch is going to be able to pump out slightly better stuff anyway. So
and the CEO of Nintendo in the recent financial hearing, he said that he wants the life cycle of the Switch to exceed the normal 5-6 years.
Yeah.
So he said that to the investors. Now, to do that, you're going to need to revise that hardware.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Like the hardware is going to be obsolete in 3 years. Like it's going to be reviewed before then. 100%.
In some people's eyes now, the hardware is already on.
But I mean, but that's only in my eyes. That's only if you compare it to other consoles. I think it's incredibly unfair to do that to a Switch because.
Oh no, I'm talking about other mobile technology that's already out.
Oh right, yeah. Oh okay.
It's already obsolete. That's what I'm saying. The new Tegra chips are there, and they're way more powerful than I say way more powerful. They're quite a bit more powerful than what's currently out in.
But they're not in any other handheld consoles, are they?
No. I mean, the handheld console is.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Exactly.
So.
About that, but I think I don't know about you guys, but when you're looking at a game or you're looking at the E3 trailer and stuff, I mean, are you looking for like graphics straight away, or do you tend to is it look for games that you're going to
See, I'm a bit of a tweener with it. Like, I enjoy great graphics, and hence I keep going on about Digital Foundry, because I appreciate their stuff where they deep dive into performance and resolution and stuff like that.
The thing with E3 though is they are going to chuck nice visuals at you, because that's what they're
what they have to do, isn't it?
It's like it's E3, big flashy trailer. Like it's not about the kind of detail of the gameplay and stuff. It's like here's a big in your face trailer. So they kind of push the visual aspect a lot more at something like E3. I think.
For me, that doesn't work. Like it's and a prime example of this is Red Dead. So they pushed the Red Dead trailer, and it didn't contain any gameplay footage. It didn't, I was like, all right, yeah, it looks pretty, but show me the fucking game. Yeah. Like I'm not going to pre-order something that I've not seen work.
Yeah, but I can't agree with that, because that's how Rockstar always sell their games. They're like, here's this world. They're basically showing you a world more than they are a tech demo.
It's in effect. I know what Perry's saying, because I'm going to side with Perry on this one. It's either a full-blown trailer or a teaser. Don't get in between.
But it is a teaser of the world. And if you've played Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto, everybody's played them. They don't need to show you anything. That's the genius.
No, you do. You need to sell me the new game. Show me the differences from the old one.
You're the only person who doesn't want to buy that game.
Yeah. Well, then you're all broken human beings.
No, come on, it's Red Dead. Like, you pick the
No, that's fucking stupid. That comment there is stupid. I'm not going to pre-order a game just because it has a certain name. Like, I mean, all right, yeah, I did it with Kingdom Hearts and No Kuni, but I'm joking. I don't remember last time.
If they did that for fucking RuneScape, fucking 42 or whatever the fuck it should be by now. You're telling me if they just showed you some
no, I wouldn't.
Trailer,
I wouldn't.
Like,
you know why?
You
know why? Because old school RuneScape forever. Fuck you.
It's like Mario. If they just showed you a CG video of Mario saying, "Oh, Mario Odyssey 2," and they didn't show you anything of it, tell me you wouldn't want to buy it straight away. Tell me you wouldn't. Just that name alone sells you that game.
I think I on a different take of it. So, for instance, Metroid Prime 4. I'm a big fan of it.
You saw a poster and you want it.
It was a logo and a tiny bit of music, which made no sense. But I think I'm more excited about it because of the trust I have in the previous entry.
Yeah, that's exactly. What I was getting at. Yeah. That's what I was getting at, though. With Red Dead and Grand Theft Auto, it's the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they don't.
But there is room
to
fuck it up. That's the annoying. That's part of the gamble, I guess, isn't it? But
I did that with. I swear the original Red Dead. They teased that a really similar way, and GTA 4. They didn't really show anything. And GTA 5.
Yeah, I think that.
They don't show you anything. The story is like a surprise for you, essentially.
It's just Rockstar's way. Like we picked it,
We picked a terrible game.
Yeah, we picked a company that is like a law unto itself, who just take as long as they want developing games, and
there are Rockstar. Companies like that, exactly. I mean, look how long Zelda took to come out. Right?
Stumped by Wii U's failure.
Stumped by that as well, but it's the same scenario of like Nintendo can get away with that because it's them. I know people are still kicking off, and people will kick off about Red Dead if they delay. It's the same thing. People will moan, but then look, everybody bought a Switch basically for that game.
Yeah, definitely. I think, and the fact that we've been waiting nearly 7 years.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. That if there's any game on the Switch that makes me want to buy a Switch, it's Stardew Valley. Like that's the only game that I'm like, yes, I want a Switch to play Stardew Valley. That's why I want a Switch.
DLC's coming. I think it's got multiplayer.
Multiplayer DLC. Fucking give me that. It's going to be so good. You can add like other cabins to your farm.
Will you buy a Switch so you can come play it with me? Because I have it and I've only put like 5 hours into it, and it probably should about 10 times that amount.
110% yes. I will buy a Switch and we will play multiplayer Stardew Valley. Give me that.
Okay, excellent. You need to do that. Fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. That was the first talking point that we had with you, and that spewed out into this beautiful conversation that we just had.
It was good.
You say it was the first talking point. We asked a good few questions.
Yeah, I think we covered quite a lot.
I think we covered.
I literally started with our talking point of struggle of being a reviewer, having a day job, and then it just blew up from there. It was fantastic.
Feature of the Switch as well. That was chucked in.
Yeah, that was in there.
Yeah, that was in there. Do you want to talk a little bit about your Splatoon 2
thing? Yeah, your thing. What's
we
the
mentioned
name?
it earlier.
I don't have a name.
What is it? Do you just host a game?
Yeah, so you know, landing the job at Nintendo Life, I've gained quite a few more followers. Quite cool, and then interacting with the community. And the Nintendo community is an odd one. As in, they're very, they know what they like. That's it. That's what they like. So I've kind of honed in on that. And
Richard's never played RuneScape.
Shut up about RuneScape.
No, never.
Subliminal messaging now. So I host a weekly Splatoon tournament. Not tournament, sorry, just friendly turf war they call it, and it's every Wednesday and every Sunday. Now you can only have 10 people in the match, but we've got people from Russia, Texas, New York, I think as well, and quite a few people in the UK. So we just friendly match. I've got a Discord, and one thing that does annoy me is about Nintendo is they're not getting the whole online chat thing. So you do have a companion app, which is awful.
Yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
Yeah. That's another story.
That's the thing.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why Az doesn't review things.
That's why I don't review things. What I said to Rich the other day, and he was like, "Oh, this review's really taking ages," and I was like, "I could not put pen to paper to make a review. I'd be like, guns are nice, shoot bang."
Is that your Doom review?
Yeah, that's what I do review. The guns are nice. The end.
And we have a feature on Nintendo Life where we talk about we send in what we're going to play for the next week. So kind of what you guys do actually.
Oh, okay.
But we do it on a Friday and we do it in a feature in an article, and then our readers comment on the bottom. But every time, all of us are pretty much playing Splatoon 2. So I do that, and I think it's just a good way of, because Nintendo are lacking the ability, dare I say, to have a robust online the matchmaking. The mechanic is fine, but the community side of things, like the voice chat, is just awful.
Yeah, certainly the general online infrastructure isn't quite there yet.
And then I don't think they ever have been. I mean, Smash was buggy as hell on the Wii U. Like it was unplayable a lot of the time.
The Wii U was like they were trying to get there in online community with like the message board thing and stuff like that. And they're not having, even still using friend codes really bugs the hell out of me. Like, why can't I just add someone via their name?
Are they still doing that?
I mean, they're still doing that. They've just added in the Facebook stuff, which I feel like is what you were about to burst and say, like, hey, you can add your Facebook friends now.
And Twitter friends. But yeah, they're getting there. But in September, the online subscription launches. So for £20 a year, or €20, $20, we're obviously shit out on that one.
Yeah.
Yet again. They're going to have an online subscription. Now, they're not saying anything about it. They said, be prepared, it's going to be big, i.e. it's going to work. But we're going to have access to games like the SNES and NES games. So they are bringing up...
have they confirmed that?
That's going to be the sweet map. You're going to get either one.
Fuck.
You're going to get something like that.
I'm glad I sold that Nintendo. Or SNES Mini, should I say.
Get off that Nintendo.
Get off that fucking Nintendo.
So I've kind of taken it up. Anyway, going back to the topic, I've kind of taken it upon myself to create this small community. And we play every week, which for the Nintendo community is a big thing, I think, to have. Whereas, for Xbox and PS4 players, I know as well, it's easy enough. You just plug in your headset and go. But
that's quite a nice thing. Sorry, Ed, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do you stream this on Twitch? Is this
it's not something that I've ever looked into, but I've been asked to
do it.
It sounds like
I'd tune into that.
You wouldn't be able to play handheld, obviously, but you.
I think it will be certainly something that I look into.
I noticed you started posting videos and stuff. Is that using the record feature on the console?
Yeah.
Okay,
so
cool.
I think but then obviously we wouldn't be able to. I don't know if we would be able to get the chat of it as well, because we do voice chat on Discord, and also there's people.
You can do it. Okay. If you ever look into it, give me a shout. Help you sort it.
As a sort you out.
I'll sort you out.
As a hook you up.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is it's quite nice, though, because of how easy it is on Xbox and PlayStation and even PC to just jump in with people you already know and stuff like that. It's real easy. Whereas with like Nintendo, you actually have to go through the effort of like finding people to play with, getting into a Discord and stuff like that, which like it sucks in one respect, but in the other respect, it's kind of like a cool thing. It makes communities that way.
Yeah.
It's like you don't really do that on Xbox.
Oh, yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, and although, you know, I'd swap it out any day of the week, I'd love to be able to just do what...
Oh, God, yeah.
You know,
100%, yeah.
You do have to...
At the same time, it's kind of like a thing. Yeah.
But, so that's something that I do, just trying to get a bit of more of a community-based side of things. And, you know, it's just nice to have.
Yeah, it's like almost like a fun project for you, really.
Yeah, and then I have to restrict myself to an hour because I have to go back reviewing again.
So here's a random question I've got for you, because I love my Switch as well, and obviously love Switch more than anything. What is your most sought after feature for them to add to the Switch, software-wise?
Software-wise?
Yes, not hardware-wise. Oh, we've lost you. Hello?
Hello?
Right.
Oh, you're there. It's okay. It was the most sought after feature.
Feature. So
Yes.
are we talking hardware or
No,
software?
not hardware. Software. Like something that they could add to the software. I want to see what your first thing is that comes to your head.
Oh, that is an interesting
I was
question.
thinking you were going to say something straight off the bat.
What was you thinking I was going
I
to
think
say?
you're going to say Netflix. Stuff like that. Are you not like fucking itching for them to add that in? Because I know I am.
Yeah, I think
Netflix on the Switch would be nuts.
It would just tip it over the edge, I think. Stuff
Netflix
like that.
have spoken about this.
Yeah.
And they said that they're waiting on Nintendo.
Well, the States have got Hulu. And Hulu is a big streaming platform over there.
Yeah.
So, you don't know Hulu. Hulu is basically, it's essentially Netflix, except you get The Simpsons.
That's pretty much
True story. So, yeah.
I'd have to agree with you on that one. But you know, you go into, look around this room, you've got loads of other things to play it on. And as soon as you go out of your house with the Switch, you won't be able to get Netflix.
Yeah, but I'm more thinking, but you could, because if you could do that thing where you do it on your phone, where you store the films.
Yeah, you download it.
Where you download it. I'm thinking, like, when I was on the plane the other month.
Does the... Go on, carry on, sorry.
So I was going to say, when I was on a plane to Rome the other month, I was like, I wanted to watch Altered Carbon, and I was just finishing playing, I was playing Mario Odyssey on the plane, and I was like, I'm going to watch Altered Carbon. I had to watch it on my phone screen, which isn't as big as the Switch screen. I can't imagine how much fucking nicer it would be to be able to sit here with my Switch with its little stand, sit it on the table and watch.
How big's the internal storage of the handheld Switch?
So you can get an
32,
SD.
it's 32 gig.
Yeah.
And
I've got an SD in mine, 128 gig.
I was going to say, you can get like a huge SD card. All right, that's not too bad then.
What I think you've hit on a good point, because you look at, say, Wii and even the Wii U. The Wii U had Netflix within a few months. Yeah. But I think what they've done is I do feel like the release of the Switch was rushed. I know that's probably going to... I think they needed to, I think, Nintendo could run on the cash they've got in the basement, if they didn't release anything for a lifetime. Yeah. But they did rush it. They did rush it out. And I think we seem to think it's easy for a big company like Nintendo and Netflix to work together. But I don't think it is. I don't
it's probably
think it's
not
a
that.
case
Well, I think it's probably not easy, but I think we could have had it by now. Easy. We're a year in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Here's my speculation and guess for the online services. When they release that £20 a year, that's when we'll see Netflix on Switch. That's my guess right now. My speculation. That's when we'll see Netflix and stuff like that on the Switch.
And then there's obviously things like YouTube as well, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. All that sort of stuff. That's what I meant. Just in general. Just like platforms like Twitch.
A media hub on the Switch.
Like yeah.
My most sought after, and I can't believe I didn't say it, is virtual.
Yes.
Virtual console. I don't know if you guys are au fait with the whole VC kind of thing.
Netflix, virtual console. That's me. Top two. Right there.
And I don't understand what our obsession with is of wanting to play old games all the time. But it is there. It's rife. It's something that we always want. We always want to dip in.
I mean,
I said this on last week's... Oh, sorry. I'm doing the thing where I'm like... I've complained about not being able to see you. Now Rich is here, and I'm looking at him, and I'm not fucking looking at you. For fuck's sake. Go
I
ahead.
know.
Alex.
I was just going to say, like, it's something that obviously Microsoft has realised because they've gone like all in on the backwards compatibility. Like, not only giving people the ability to play like 360 games, but they're like, you know what, we're going to go the generation before that and give you like you can
His
play
classic
the
Xbox.
whole gamut of like Xbox throughout the ages are going to be available on the one.
Exactly. Not just that, but they've gone so balls deep with it. They're like, fuck it, we'll give you 4K on like some of your old games. Like they've actually patched the games and made them 4K. Yeah, they've upscaled a lot of the games.
But
So,
if they give me Fable 1 in 4K, I'll lose my shit.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Fable 2. So about
Will
Fable 1,
we see a
Fable
new
2.
Fable game at E3? That's the question.
Nah. I think
Sorry, I've completely sidetracked this
we are.
conversation.
We're sidetracked. We don't have time to sidetrack, Ed.
Yeah.
But yeah, just quickly. I mean, I said it last week. If I could get Mario 64 on my Switch, I would get that and I'd play the fuck out.
We've
Even
got the
after
last
Odyssey.
spoilers ahead. The last level on.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But it's not the same. It's not Mario 64. I can't slide down that ramp with a little fucking penguin in my arms in that game, can I? So. What's that?
we're just going to have our own little conversation while you two nerd out about Mario 64.
Sorry.
So what you doing after this? You get some
Sorry. Well, I guess on that note, we'll wrap up, shall we? We've got a hell of a long time.
We've gone a long time. We're just hit 1 hour 21. So we're a good rap session.
Quick, everyone stop talking.
Everyone stop talking. Shut up. I'm going to talk now. So thank you for joining us, Rich. So
No problem. Thanks for having me.
we do this thing at the end where we basically let our guest sort of
Sing a song.
sing a song. Sing now. Sing. Dance.
Away in a manger. Go.
Don't. It's fine. We basically give you an opportunity to like plug what you're doing. Let us know sort of
Any social channels?
any social channels or anything you want to talk about.
What's your Twitter?
Oh, okay, cool. That kind of thing. Right, so I think I've plugged Nintendo Live enough. But yeah, my Twitter is at Ninten_mouse, spelled MAU5.
Nice.
So or search for my real name, Richard Atkinson. So yeah, go up, if you head on over there, you'll be able to see stuff about my Splatoon thing, and also I tend to delve in where I can, and with regards to the reviews as well. So I think some people are interested, like yourselves, on how things are being done. So I share as much as I can on there.
Cool. And do you
my...
post your like where we can see your reviews and stuff on there as well, or?
Yeah, so I'll share Nintendo Live's tweet. I'll also do it on Facebook, but yeah, Twitter is where I keep all my gaming stuff.
Cool.
Excellent.
And so when and if stuff comes up, then I will certainly share it. I'm also going to share your stuff as well.
Thank you very much.
That's very nice of you.
That's very nice.
You scratch my back. I'll scratch.
Very nice. It's been great having you on. Seriously, it's been a really good episode. I think, to be honest.
Yeah, very good
pretty
episode.
Solid,
Informative
solid conversation and
for a
debate.
change.
For a change. Informative for a change.
We'll have to get you back like later on.
Yes.
We'll get you back on for another
Post
episode.
E3, please.
I think we
There
can
we
do
go.
that.
There we go. I think that's done.
It's a date.
My
It's a
aim is
date,
to
yeah.
go next.
Yeah, when we'll have Netflix on Switch by then. So
Okay, so
It's too late.
with no further ado, guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for sitting with us for the last hour and a half, listening to us ramble about some interesting stuff, actually.
Yeah.
If you've liked it, please drop a comment, like, favourites, and subscribe. Do all that good stuff.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Subscribe on YouTube. Yeah, that's the thing.
subscribe on YouTube.
All right. Rip
Holy
headphones.
shit! Yeah, definitely subscribe.
Sorry about that.
We're looking for subscriptions.
Yes.
On YouTube at the minute. Do that. That would be very helpful. Thank you very much. I've been Perry.
I've been Ed.
I've been Az.
I've been Richard.
And yeah, we've been guys playing games, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Wait, do we want to...
next week. Yeah,
Next week.
Quick plug for next week.
Quick plug for next week.
Yesterday, we went to see Ready Player One.
Woo!
And it was... Well, no, I'm not going to say what it was.
We're not going to tell you how good it was,
Save it for
because
next
we're
week.
going to talk about that next week.
Yeah, we're gonna have a bit of a Ready Player One session next week as the film is coming out. We're going to go in on that.
So definitely tune in.
I'm losing my voice.
Oh, and follow us on Twitter as well, at Guys
Twitter.
Playing G's. And
Instagram.
follow us on Facebook.com/Guys Playing Games.
Okay.
And follow us on Instagram at Guys Playing Games. There you go.
Nice.
Follow it.
Smooth.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
See you later.